So opening the deal, breaking the ice. This is going to be the most toughest part of your whole process when it comes to the sales. This is where we can literally make one wrong move and the whole sale is going to be dead on the spot. It's the most important, and just like with any building, it's going to be the foundation of where your sale is going to go. You have to have a very solid foundation in order to keep this relationship moving forward and eventually meet the closing line. So it's very, very important in this phase that you do everything you can to not mess it up. Now, this is going to be the tricky thing because we never know what's going to happen, right? We never know what situation this person that we're calling and we're interrupting their day is going through, and we don't know. So there's a lot of variables here, but there is a couple of things that we can do in order to kind of get past this and get the information we need. So it's very important with these sellers, first and foremost, is to listen. Now my handwriting's very bad, so just ignore that, but this is key. You always want to be listening because there is always going to be information that may slip out in there that can help you out further down the line. And when you're listening, make sure you kind of keep track of all that. Take a little bit of notes on it, and then you'll be able to refer back to it later, or it can kind of open you up for the next phase of dialogue. So listening is, like I said, the most important thing. You're going to get free information from that. It's going to give you also an opportunity to mirror, which is where I'm going to be going into next. Mirroring is going to be important because people are going to feel comfortable around people that are like them or like they want to be. So if you call somebody and they're in a very happy, giddy mood, you want to be very happy and giddy because they're going to be comfortable with you if you're like they are or like what they want to be. Now, it's kind of hard to say what they are, to know what they want to be, but you can mirror them by what they're doing for you right now. And with that, that'll kind of open the door to keep you from getting hung up on very, very fast. Now, once you're kind of in this, you got the yes, you're in the middle of the phone call, you're gathering your information. It's really important up front you set your expectations. And expectations for things like us is we're going to close fast. We're going to buy this as is. This is going to be the easiest process you'll ever have gone through. And we don't have any realtor fees or commissions that we're going to be paying out at the end of it. We pay title, everything like that. So essentially you want to set that up front so people know what they're getting into. And so with this, in this kind of category, you can build a lot of credibility here. You can let them know like, hey, I work with this title company. We've done a lot of business with them. Feel free to call my escrow agent X. Here's their phone number. And you can also kind of throw in some open-ended questions. And open-ended questions are something that are very important in a lot of stages, but clearly up front, it's going to matter the most. So an open-ended question you can see here is, for the expectations I just set for you, what would you take for this property? And that's a really good open-ended question because it's going to, let them evaluate everything you just said. Here's my process. How much would I be willing to take for the property given how easy this is going to be for me moving forward? Another one, so another thing we can be doing here is something, it's a fine line. You want to become their friend, but you don't want to get too deep into the friend zone. Going in too deep into the friend zone is going to kind of null you out of the whole process. So you do want to be somewhat friendly. You want to be someone they can relate to, but you can't go too far in. Going too far in is really going to kind of close things down because when you're too far in, now they kind of feel you on a personal level. And if business goes bad or what have you, goes good, you might just not be somebody they want to do business with. You might be somebody they want to carry out a relationship with, which is it's a bridge we don't want to cross. We always want to maintain professional relationship. We always want to be the person that when they think, hey, so-and-so has a house to sell, let me call me. So that's the kind of relationship you want to build. You don't want to go too far into that. And then throughout this process too, keep in mind we're opening the deal. We're already past the, yes, I want to sell my property. We're building this rapport. You want to provide value. You always want to start with, your knowledge of the market. You don't want to necessarily know a lot about their house. That can come off as really creepy. But you want to know the market, like, hey, I see a lot of investors in this area and they're buying houses at X amount. That's a really good way to kind of show like, you've analyzed this market, what's going on in there. And it's also building up that comfort. You look like a professional because you've already taken the time to do these things ahead of time. You can also show how you can solve their problems. Now, this is going to go back to listening. When you're listening to them, they could say something that could be a problem that you can solve. One of the things that we do here is we help people move. We help them find new places. The relocation, anything they don't want to take with them, they can leave it behind. We'll take care of that at the end of the process. So you want to listen for these kinds of little things and figure out where you can help the most. You want to be a solution for a problem and not just another headache that I have to deal with calling every single day. So that's something you always want to be doing too, because you want to provide value for their problems. You want to show them that you're very knowledgeable in the market, and you want to be trying to build that rapport, but not take it too far. You don't want to be their best friend. You want to be a business partner with them. So kind of following up on the marrying and the listening is we're going to have a lot of open-ended questions. You definitely want to be throwing questions out there that these people are going to have to be thinking about, and really kind of sitting down and analyzing what you're putting forward. It'll help kind of break that barrier down of where you want to be and where they're at currently. The idea is to not necessarily get them so much to a yes, but to get them to your point of view without jamming it down their throat. So these are all kind of tips that I've come up with in my time here as far as opening the process up. And like I said, this is a very delicate time in the process because you're just starting to get to know them. It could be one bad move that really sets you back or closes the deal completely. If you're out here in this business, it could be 30 seconds to a minute before somebody cuts you out of their life completely in these phone calls or these text messages or however you're getting across to your sellers. So opening up, it's a very, very crucial part, lays the foundation for the whole sales process. And you want to make sure that you go in here and you're prepared, but you also got to be kind of agile to what can come up to you, because these kinds of processes, you never know what you're going to get. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
What's going on? My name's Roland. They call me hard because I go in hard and I never know how to stop. And today we're going to talk about is gathering information, all right? Gathering, forgive my handwriting, I write like a third grader, info, all right? So basically they've already said, hey, you know what? I want to hear what you got to say, all right? So they want to hear what you got to say. All right, so the next thing is to ask, the right kind of questions. What are the right kind of questions you're asking? The right kind of questions is going to be like, okay, what's your reason for selling? That's, just to open up a conversation, make them feel a little bit comfortable. They're going to say, well, house is old, okay? That kind of gives you some information about the property, right? It's like, it's old property, all right? You don't want to insult them and be like, how old's the house? It's just like, you just want to basically smooth their way in there and just ask them like, okay, has there been any renovations to the property lately? You don't want to say like, oh, is your house broken? Like, is the plumbing gone? How's the roof? You know what I mean? It's like a bad relationship. It's like you're the boyfriend and you're like, are you okay? Are you okay? How's this okay? It's like you don't want to go in like that. You want to go in with the right kind of questions, right? So I always use the word, has there been any renovations or add-ons to the property? Normally that'll lead you to another, how do I say, it's like a question, you know what I mean? Or an answer, and they'll be like, well, we did have some foundation work done. Bam, you got one foundation. All right. Sorry, my handwriting's a little fucked up. All right, and then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, we had that done. My mother, she had a little accident outside. Blah blah blah. That we had a leak. Plumbing. All right, so you got a plumbing now. It kind of leads into the next categories. So right away, you've already gotten two things out of the information, out of them, regarding to gathering info. So these things are important because these also add up to you gathering an ARV and other info. All right. So the next thing I do when I'm gathering information is trying to get a price out of them. All right. You don't have to gouge them eyes out for a price. It's more like you just gotta talk them into it. Okay. So you'd be like, okay, they're like, they're asking like, what would you be comfortable with and selling your property? And they can be like, oh, my property, it's been there for a long time. Me and my family, we raised our kids there. You want to also be kind of like, how do I say this? Considerate of that. You don't want to be emotionally attached to them, but you want to be considerate of their attachment to the property. And you can be like, oh, okay, how many kids did you have? Oh, I had, 3 3 kids, you know. Oh, okay, is they grown? Oh yeah, they're all grown. Okay, so you have a big property. That's great. Is that your reason for wanting to sell? And they're like, oh yeah, it's a reason to sell. So just gathering information in general is just important. Any little thing about the property you can get, even if it is not regarding to the property itself, just the people that live in the property is great. It's great. And it's always great to build rapport. A lot of people don't do that when gathering information, is build rapport. Like they just go on like, oh, you know, just want to know about the property and how much you want. It's best to build rapport. Rapport is important when gathering information. Well, my name is Roland. That's all I got for you today. Y'all have a blessed day.
What's up, guys? So y'all just heard about gathering information and how to break the ice, which is both important. But for me personally, I feel the most important is follow-up. Follow-up because, you know, as you hear it a lot, it's all in the follow-up. Is money is in the follow-up. So I'm just gonna go over a few things about follow-up and what I've learned so far. So follow-up. Some quick numbers. Hold on, how do I spell this? So some quick numbers I've seen is 40% of customers usually tell you no for the four times. You know, most people are not going to be ready right when you talk to them the first time. Another big number is 80% of sales don't happen until after the 5th call. So that tells you got to get told no 5 times before you can even have a chance of getting the shot at the sale. So what we do here in the company and what I've learned is follow-up is key. You know, like I said, not everybody's gonna be ready to go at the first time. So it's just something you gotta keep going and getting. What happened to me before is I did get a lead, said they were looking to sell, and you know, I said, okay, call them back. They gave them the offer, they weren't ready. So then I never followed up with them. Within a month and a half later, 2 months, I called back, they said they've already sold the property. So I lost out on the deal for not following up. So what I've gotten taught from my mentors and people that I work with is the 3-2-1 process, which is a process used by, you know, a lot of car salesmen and things like that, which means, you know, if you got a lead that is ready to go and sell, you want to hit them up 3 times in a day. First time being at 9 a.m. You want to hit them with 3 calls. They don't answer, you move on, go to your other leads. Then you want to get them again at 12. At 12 o'clock, give them another 3 calls. If they don't answer, you leave them a voicemail. Leave it at that. So after you do that, if they don't answer again, so now we got to go to the 5 o'clock, which is the best time because, you know, people are getting out of work, got more time to talk. Nobody really wants to talk on their lunch break, trying to eat their lunch. So then when we hit them up again for 3 more times, then if they don't answer, we'll leave them a voicemail. And then we'll send them a text message. 1 text message. So that's how we do our 3-2-1 follow-up. Of course, if it's an offer that you've already made, you want to do this every single day. And if it's just a regular follow-up, say the person said they're interested in selling, but you still haven't given an offer, you want to, you know, if they tell you, hey, follow up with me in a month, you want to cut that time in half and follow them up with 2 weeks. So yeah, follow-up is important. Let me see what else I got for follow-up. I know I got some more, I just can't think right now.
What up, y'all? Leon out here. So when it comes down to closing the deal, okay, you got them on the phone, you got them to accept some information, right? You got them to kind of accept the deal. A lot of people don't know where to go from there. You know, it's difficult, and I've lost some money not being able to know what direction to take when it comes down to closing the deal. So I have put a little bit of points up here that have helped me whenever I am on the phone to help me get to that close. Because the last thing you want to do is just be on the phone with somebody for a very long time and not close them, yo, especially when you're in person. So after the phone call has been done, you have already gathered the information. The information should be the details on the property, why it is that they're selling, when they want to sell, what's the time frame, are they in a hurry, are they, you know, because that's going to tell you the motivation. And then the price. You need to have some sort of price range, because if the price range don't work with you, then why are you on the phone with this person still? During that information gathering, you want to get some rapport built, right? You want to make sure that they know that you're the person to come to when it comes to selling the property, because they got plenty of other people calling them out. You have to stand out. And how do you do that? With rapport, in the most professional way. You don't want to get caught up. You don't want to get friend zoned. It's happened to one of my buddies, and it just goes south. Then the seller thinks that they could talk to you in any way, and you don't want that. You want to maintain professionalism. Every time you talk to this person, you want to add value to them, and you want to educate every single chance that you get. So all this is being done. You're at the end of the conversation. They've kind of pretty much accepted your deal, not completely. Then you have to go to what I call software. Set appointment from appointment. So if you had an appointment that you were talking to them on the phone, and they have to go for some reason, you can't close them right then and there, then okay, when is a good time for you to talk? Can I call you back in 30 minutes? Can I call you back tonight? Why? Because the urgency is extremely important when you're trying to close them. You've already got them to accept the deal. You want them to put it on paper, okay? Why isn't it on paper yet? So you're doing something wrong if it's not yet on paper. But to get them to the close, you ask them, okay, Mr. Seller, so we've already spoken about the property. The price is good where we're at. I can understand where you're coming from. I know that you want to do this quick. I can put you in the front of the line when it comes to the title company. As soon as we get this on paper, as soon as you get the paper back to me, they close at 5 today. So if you can get it to me before 5, I can go ahead and send this on to title company and get the process started. And then I'll ask them, hey, can you put this at the front of the line because it's more urgent. Okay, that is going out of the way for the sellers. They're like, oh, okay. Not only that, it puts a little bit of a speed on them, because now they're like, okay, I got to get to them before 5. So now they got to open the email. Now they got to review it. They got to sign it and send it back. Or if it's in person, then they sign right then and there instead of having to wait. The urgency is extremely important. And you say, if you haven't got them to that point, then you just say, okay, look, we've already spoken this, the price works out. Is this something that you're interested in moving forward with? And if they say, okay, well, I need time to think. Okay, well, how much time to think? You already talked about the situation. You said you needed to sell. You said you needed to do it within this certain time, and the price is something that we both agreed on. What's holding you back? Is there any way that I can help? Because I do this for a living, and I can't tell you that my offer now will be the same in a week from now. I might have to come down because time is money, and I know that you need it, and I would like to make this happen. This would be a win-win for both of us. So how about you send me your email, I send you the paperwork, you can take a look at it, and then you can go ahead and make a decision. Again, if we can do it before 5, we can get the process started today, because the longer you wait, the longer it takes for me to get you paid. Make sure that they know the process. Again, educate. Okay, get them to that close. Okay, so if this works for you, then I'm gonna send you the paperwork, okay? And then once you send it back, we'll get this started. That's how I do it. You have to be a little bit of pushy. You have to be a little bit aggressive. Okay, we're in sales, so we gotta get the sale. Okay, and then when you do this with everybody, and I guarantee you the aggressive tactics will help you close more. And if they don't, you set that appointment and you call them on the follow-up and you stay on the follow-up. You tell them, hey, okay, so are you ready to sign today? Don't be scared to ask them if they're ready to close, because the whole reason why you're talking to this person in the first place is to get a deal. All right, well, I hope I added value to your business. If there's anything else that you need to know, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Leon. Until next time.
Hey guys, this is Tony from Infinity Cash Offer, aka Young Cashanova, and today I'll be telling you about how to do text to phone. SMS is one of my favorite things to do. Right next to cold calling, I am one of the lead acquisitions here at Infinity Cash Offer, and we text a lot of sellers a day, more than 100. So whenever you're texting, you always wonder, how am I supposed to get them on the phone? Well, first it starts with the text. First you want to, as Quentin always taught me, if you don't reply in the next 10 minutes, then you lost the seller. So you always want to do quick replies. Always, it's key. Replies. There you go. So once you get your quick reply on, and then they respond back, and sometimes they respond on like how much, mostly what are you offering, etc. And y'all should know by now how to respond to all of this, because we're only here to talk about how to get them on the phone. But first it starts with a quick reply, and then you want to let them know that you are legit, because they probably think you're a bot. No one wants to be on the phone if they think you're a bot. Because if you text them the simple, just similar, everyone texts, they're not gonna listen to you. So you make sure that you give them a legitimate answer. Tell them that you're legit. Educate them about it. Use BCAD. Tell them their appraised value, and everything like that. Legit. Seem legit. So after you've been on the phone with them, well, not the phone, texting them for about 2 minutes, and you get an offer out of them, then even before they give the offer, this is what you should do. You should run your numbers. Run your numbers. Use Propelio, Proption, whatever y'all use out there. Run your numbers. So when you do get them on the phone, you can tell them your offer. Now this is what I do personally before I get them on the phone. I don't even tell them about the condition of the property. Because usually when you tell them the condition of the property on the text, they just think you're wasting their time. The first thing you want to do is not waste their time and your time. So you run your numbers, have your offer ready. Always. Ready. Have your offer ready. And you know, y'all cold call before. I mean, once you get them on the phone, it's just like a cold call. It should be easy from there, honestly. So once you have your offer ready, tell them, can I speak to you on the phone? Text them, can I speak to you on this phone? Speak to you on the phone. And whatever answer they say, and if they do say yes, and this is where the phone part comes in. Usually how I answer, like I said, it's like a cold call. You answer. You answer and tell them, hey, Mr. Seller, this is Tony. I was just speaking to you about a property on 123 Main Street. We were just talking about it. Are you still interested in selling? Or anything like that. Like I said, it's exactly like a cold call. So once you start telling them once you tell them about the property and confirm it's the actual owner, then you want to go into basically your sales pitch. Like I said, it's like a cold call. Tell them the condition of the property. About the condition of the property. Or they'll tell you about the condition of the property. The condition. And from there, you go into their whys and how much they want it for. They should have already told you how much they wanted for in the text, and then you should already have your offer ready. And it should be around the same what you call it number, because you don't want to waste your time being on the phone that someone wants market value or even way more than market value. So you tell them they tell you about the condition. And as soon as they tell you about the condition, and that's when you go into the numbers, what your offer is. You tell them what your offer is. Be thorough, be educated, because the last thing you want is someone to be like, "Can I speak to somebody different?" That's happened to me, and it hurts my heart. But like I said, you have to be educated. Be educated. Oh, educated. Always. Because you don't want to seem like you don't know what you're talking about. You always want to seem like you know what you're talking about. Because that's where you get your money. This is how you close your deals. You seem educated, you know what you're talking about, you put your offer out there, and bada bing, bada boom, you sign the contract, and you close the deal. It's as simple as that. So this right here is not a long process. This right here will take you at least 5 minutes tops sometimes, depending how motivated they are. This right here doesn't take a long time, so don't think about it too much. Text to phone, it's basically like that. Text to phone, just like a cold call. Now I want to see all y'all close y'all deals out there. You see, this is not hard whatsoever. I'm 16 and I'm doing this. So what makes y'all think y'all 30, 20-year-olds can't do this yourselves? It's easy. It's just like that. I want to see y'all close deals. I want to see myself close deals. I want to see everybody in this room close deals. Like I said, my name's Tony. If you have a house y'all want to buy, I'm the man.